The year was 1953, and the war in Korea was raging. In Detroit, a housewife embarked upon a remarkable mission. Inspired by the plight of a single war orphan that she saw on television, Irene M. Oberlin enlisted the help of her family and friends to collect food, clothing, baby supplies, and medicines to ship overseas. Her original goal, to help one small orphaned boy, turned into a much larger mission, relieving the pain and suffering of the entire orphanage, filled with 400 hurting children.
She saw the conditions of the orphanage in Incheon, Korea, and she was appalled. They had little bedding, little clothing. They didn't have cribs. They didn't have food. They didn't have hygiene products.
What they did have was a guardian angel in Miss Oberlin. And within a short time, the needs of that orphanage were being met by the open hearts of strangers 8,000 miles away. Under Miss Oberlin's watch, and with the assistance of her husband Lester, the mission expanded. World Medical Relief began collecting and distributing recycled medical and dental equipment, medical supplies, and medicines to aid thousands of sick and poor people around the globe. They were doing God's work, as Miss A would like to say, by turning the sins of waste into the miracles of mercy. And today, the folks at World Medical Relief are still meeting the needs of many.
Back in the past, Mrs. Oberlin would take anything from anybody. Over the years, we've kind of refined that a little bit more, and now we specifically focus more on medical equipment and medical supplies, basic human supplies, and medicines. And so over the years, we have continued to ship containers. Now, this would be a 40-foot container going overseas and landing in the Philippines or in Ghana or in Honduras, or we deal with 6 different continents, 130 developing nations plus. And in these containers, you may have up to $400,000 to $1 million worth of things. This includes hospital beds, dialysis machines, incubators, all kinds of medical supplies as simple as latex gloves and Band-Aids. And I just recently got back from El Salvador, and we visited a lot of the hospitals there, a lot of the community, or rather rural clinics, and these were very, very primitive. And we saw what the need is for the medical equipment and supplies. For example, the maternity ward we went to, which was just an interesting experience because we would see, they dealt with about 20,000 births a year. Now that's pretty significant. And they didn't have enough equipment to maintain their systems. They didn't have enough medical supplies. But it just brought home to us that how important it was for people to gain access to something that we just throw away here. And our goal is always to recycle and repurpose, and seeing the end result of people using this and how much it impacted their lives, made such a difference. It was such a great feeling.
While the reach of World Medical Relief is vast, helping people across the globe, they do a great deal of work here, at home, on a local level.
We have a durable medical equipment program. This program is so important, and I can give you an example. 18 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with congestive heart failure and diabetes, and she died at home through hospice. When she died, we didn't know what to do with the hospital bed, the walker, the commode, the bath chair. We didn't know what to do with any of this stuff. And so a lot of it just got thrown away. Now that is criminal. World Medical Relief accepts those things, and people here in the local community now have a resource where they feel good that they can give something and it didn't go to waste with all of that money that was spent on it. And then we in return are able to help people in the local community gain access to wheelchairs and walkers and hospital beds and the other kind of equipment that they can afford and they don't have insurance to pay for. We expanded it a little bit further, and we provide basic medical supplies, incontinence products, liquid nutrition, basic medical care needs like first aid kits and that kind of thing. And we also equip local clinics with basic medical supplies and medical equipment. And one last thing that we do, we serve about I would say 80,000 people a year in homeless shelters by providing blankets, hygiene kits, school kits, sewing kits. So these people have the opportunity to use these items which make them feel better about themselves.
One of the programs that World Medical Relief is most proud of, and that local residents are encouraged to take advantage of, is their prescription drug program.
This drug program is needed locally because for many people they don't have the opportunity to go out to say a Walmart, Costco, the big box stores that are offering the $4 and $5 prescription drug program. They, number one, can't get there, and not in every case do they have those drugs available in a non-generic format for the clients. What we do at World Medical Relief, all of our supplies, all of our drugs are either donated or acquired at a very low discount. And so as a result, we can service and send those drugs out for $8.30 a month to each patient. And that's on a mail order subscription structure. It's very effective. If you have someone who's a senior who's non-ambulatory, they have an opportunity to get those drugs without leaving their home. Whereas working with some of the big box stores, they don't have that necessarily have that opportunity. Plus, there's a community involvement that exists with World Medical Relief that doesn't necessarily exist with a retail store, because their objective is to, sell things. They're a for-profit entity. And so we have senior services. There's a direct tie-in with 211, so if somebody needs a prescription drug and they don't know where to call, they can call 211 and they'll get referred to us.